Let me ask you something. Have you ever watched someone, maybe an old classmate, a coworker, or even a random person you follow online, and thought, how did they get there so fast? 6 months ago, they were struggling, complaining about the same things you complain about, stuck in the same cycle. And now, new apartment, new confidence, new life. It looks like they skipped 10 levels while you were still on level 1. And here's the part that stings. They're not smarter than you. You know that. Deep down, you actually know that. So what happened? What did they figure out that you didn't? Here's the truth most people never hear, and it's going to sound almost too simple when I say it, but stay with me because the simplicity is exactly what makes it dangerous to ignore. They didn't work harder. They didn't get lucky. They didn't have some secret connection or inherited money or a magic morning routine with cold showers at 4 a.m. They changed the game they were playing. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how that works. Here's the trap most people fall into. From the time we're young, we're handed a script. Study hard, get good grades, get a stable job, work your way up, be patient, put in the time, and eventually, life will reward you. It sounds reasonable, it sounds fair, but here's what nobody tells you about that script. It was written for a different era, and more importantly, it was written to produce reliable workers, not exceptional people. Think about it like a video game. Imagine you're playing a game and you're doing everything the tutorial told you to do. You're grinding the same quests, collecting the same coins, fighting the same low-level enemies. You're making progress, slowly, steadily. But across the map, there's another player who figured out something you didn't. There are side quests that triple your experience points. There are shortcuts hidden in plain sight. There are power items most players walk right past because they're focused on the main road. That's real life. The majority of people are grinding the main road, head down, working hard, following the rules, and then wondering at 35 or 40 or 50 why the scoreboard doesn't reflect all those years of effort. The people who level up fast, they stopped trusting the main road and started asking a different question. Not, how do I work harder at this, but am I even playing the right game?
There's a concept in psychology called cognitive fixedness. It basically means that once your brain decides there's one way to do something, it becomes almost physically difficult to see any other way. It's like this. Imagine someone hands you a hammer. Immediately, your brain starts looking for nails. Even if a screw is sitting right in front of you, your instinct is to find something to hammer. That's cognitive fixedness. Most people apply this to their lives without realizing it. They have one mental model of success: work long hours, sacrifice now, reward later. And they hammer that model into every situation, even when a completely different tool would serve them better. The people who level up fast have done something subtle but powerful. They've broken that fixation. They've trained themselves to zoom out and see the full picture instead of just the nail in front of them. And the way they do it comes down to 3 psychological shifts that almost nobody talks about. The first shift is from consuming to producing. Think about your average day. How much of it is spent taking things in, scrolling, watching, listening, reading, versus actually creating something, building something, or putting something out into the world? Here's the psychology behind this. Every time you consume, you get a small hit of dopamine. Your brain feels stimulated. It feels like progress, but it's a simulation of progress. It's the feeling without the result. Producers experience discomfort. Creating is hard. Putting your work out there is scary. Sharing your ideas feels vulnerable. But every time you produce something, a skill, a business, a piece of content, a solution to someone's problem, you are building real-world leverage. And leverage is the engine of fast growth. The second shift is from trading time for money to trading value for money. This one is critical, and it connects directly to how wealth and power actually accumulate. When you trade time for money, when you're paid by the hour or by the salary, your income has a ceiling. There are only so many hours in a day. No matter how hard you work, you can't add a 25th hour. But when you shift to trading value, when you solve problems, create systems, build things that work while you sleep, you break that ceiling. Think about it this way. A locksmith who spends 10 years learning to pick any lock in 60 seconds is incredibly skilled. And if they charge by the hour, they're actually penalized for being fast. They make less money the more efficient they get. But if that same locksmith packages their knowledge into a course, a YouTube channel, a security consulting firm, suddenly their skill is no longer limited by time. It's multiplied by it. This is why some people who work less earn more. They've made the shift from time-based thinking to value-based thinking. The third shift is from waiting for permission to acting on incomplete information. This is the one that separates the people who level up from the people who are always about to level up. There's a psychological phenomenon called analysis paralysis. It happens when you have too many options or when you're waiting to feel fully ready before you act. And it's one of the most common reasons talented people stay stuck. The fast movers don't wait to feel ready. They understand that readiness is mostly a feeling, and feelings lie. They act, they adjust, they act again. The brain learns through action, not through preparation. Every time you do something, even imperfectly, your brain builds new neural pathways. Every time you wait, those pathways stay unbuilt.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Most people think leveling up fast is about adding things. Adding more skills, more information, more effort, more discipline. But the people who grow the fastest are usually removing things. They're removing the wrong beliefs, removing the wrong environments, removing the wrong relationships, removing the habits that cost them hours every week without giving anything back. There's a concept called identity lag, and this is one of the most underrated ideas in personal psychology. Your behavior always follows your identity. In other words, you act in accordance with who you believe you are. If you believe you're someone who struggles with money, you will unconsciously make decisions that confirm that belief. If you believe you're not a confident person, you will avoid situations that require confidence. Your brain is constantly trying to keep your reality consistent with your self-image. This is why simply trying harder doesn't work long-term. You can force new behavior for a few weeks, but if your identity hasn't changed, you'll drift back to the old patterns. The rubber band snaps back. The people who level up fast change their identity first. They start acting as the person they want to become before they feel like that person. They make decisions based on who they're becoming, not who they've been. A person becoming wealthy doesn't blow their savings on impulse buys, not because they're disciplined, but because wealthy people don't do that. It's an identity-based decision, not a willpower-based one. This is why environment matters so much. When you're surrounded by people who are already at the level you want to reach, your brain starts recalibrating what's normal. Their habits become your habits. Their standards become your standards. Their conversations start shaping your thinking. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to the level of your environment. So, what do you actually do with all of this? Here's what the fastest growers are doing, and you can start today. First, audit your inputs. For 1 week, track how much time you spend consuming versus producing. Most people are shocked when they see the ratio. Once you see it clearly, you can change it. Second, identify where you're trading time for money and ask if there's a value-based alternative. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow, but start building the alternative on the side. One skill, one asset, one thing that works when you're not working. Third, act before you're ready. Pick one thing you've been waiting to start, waiting for more money, more time, more confidence, more certainty. Start it this week, in whatever imperfect, incomplete form it can take right now, because the version of you that finishes it is built through the starting, not through the waiting. And fourth, upgrade your environment. Find one community, one group, one circle of people who are already where you want to go, online or offline. Pay to be in the room if you have to.
the ROI on proximity to the right people is almost impossible to calculate. Here's the thought I want to leave you with. Leveling up fast doesn't feel like cheating because you're breaking the rules. It feels like cheating because most people are still playing by rules that were never designed to help them win. The game was always open. The side quests were always there. The shortcuts were never hidden. They were just ignored by people who were too committed to the main road to look sideways. You don't need more time. You don't need more talent. You need a different lens. Once you see the game clearly, you stop grinding and start moving. And that's when everything changes, fast enough that the people around you start wondering what you figured out. Now you know. The question is what you're going to do with it.